Yeah, it's hot.
How are the workouts going?
Oh, pretty good. I mean, kind of week 3 into it, so I think we're doing pretty good. Kind of building off what we did last year, so pretty good.
How does it compare to last year? Like, where are you guys further ahead maybe now?
I think in terms of like getting to know each other, last year there were so many transfers, and especially myself, I was one of those transfers, and it's kind of hard to get to know each other as a team. So we're kind of like just thrown together, just trying to get it through a season. But I think the difference between last year and this year is more of us getting to know each other, and there's not much of a difference from last year in terms of like all the transfers and stuff like that. So I think that we're more together in terms compared to last year.
Do you look at yourself as one of the leaders this year now that you've been through what Kenny demands and what he's looking for?
Yeah, I like to see myself as a leader. I think that I'm not only the leader of my position group, but I'm also seen as a leader of the team. But I think I embraced that role just fine.
What do you think of the video game prank the other day?
Oh man, I was holding that plank for a while. I was competing against guys like Clayton Smith and Elijah O'Neal, all the skinnier guys. So I kind of had no chance to begin with, but like it was worth a try for sure.
Who had the best reaction to when they found out it was a prank?
I think Raleek, Scat, all those dudes were really funny. They were like, "Dude, what?" and stuff like that. But it was really fun. I think that's something Coach Kenny would do for sure, but that was super funny.
Going back to leadership stuff, why is that so important to you? Oftentimes after practice, you're always leading workouts and correcting little things. Why is that so important to you?
Because of like really good teams they're more player-led instead of coach-led, if that makes sense. But like there's just a standard that needs to be met in terms of inside the locker room, and coaches don't really have control over that. It's more of the players that have control of what we accept as a team and what we don't. So I think that being a leader, it kind of makes you that much more important in terms of getting to know your players and setting the standard on the team.
Obviously, the cohesiveness and offensive line is so important. But for people that might not be ball junkies, know about that offensive line part. How important is that going into this year to be healthy and know your right guard is the same right guard every time?
Yeah, I think offensive line is definitely the most important position group on the team. They're more often seen as the closest position group on the whole entire team. And I think that with the cohesiveness and the chemistry that we have together, it's kind of one of a kind in all different types of sports. So I think that having that togetherness on a team really digs teams out of bad spots. And I think that with the group that we have this year is going to really change the season this year.
It seems like a pretty deep group. How do you feel about just the competition there?
I think we're pretty good. I think the one thing that we have is depth. We could throw anybody in there at any point in time, and I think that the right guard, two right guard is just as good as the one right guard. So I think that with the depth and the skill that we have, we're really dangerous in terms of when it comes deep in the season.
Do you think people are underestimating you guys?
Oh yeah, 100%. I kind of keep that in my back pocket just to have a chip on my shoulder. Just like when the season comes around, it's kind of getting personal. You know what I mean? So.
Speaking of depth, what about that running back room? How excited are you to block for those guys?
Oh yeah, those guys are just ridiculous. I mean, we have Scat, Raleek, Alta, and all those other dudes. I think that it's awesome to have. I mean, Scat kind of did a lot of it last year, but I think it's really good to have like a 1-2 punch in terms of the backfield. So it's really good for us as an offensive line for sure.
Coach was talking about, obviously you guys are going to be attending all these different schools that live and breathe college football. How are you guys hoping to sort of create that atmosphere for the fans to thrive and to really sort of back you and to make it really difficult for other schools to visit you guys?
Yeah, just like what Coach Kenny said, we got to get butts in seats and gonna get the stadium filled. So I mean, we just got to continue to activate the rally, like you said, just get involved with the community, just like this. We're at a kids camp, we're just trying to get parents and kids, trying to get them to attend our games, just so it helps us for sure. Especially in a new conference where college football is like a way of life in the Big 12. So I think having those guys in kind of supporting us when we really need it, it's going to really mean it in the season.
You talked about that going into the new conference. How can you kind of talk about the hunger to set the tone going into the new conference with the national team?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're really hungry, especially how we ended last year. We kind of have that salt in our mouth, I mean, it's not a good taste in our mouth, but I think that it's going to help us carry over to this season. I mean, we all have a chip on our shoulder, just like you were saying earlier. A lot of people are underestimating us, and that's kind of what's driving us to excel this season.
Thanks, Leif.